Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ats Tsauratus Salamah. I'm a student of English Education Department of UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. In this video, I will review a textbook. This is a popular book written by Marie Kondo. The title is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Yup, this book is translated from Japanese original version into English by Katie Hirano, and also translated to several languages like German, Indonesian, and many else. This book is a bestseller book in Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom with more than 2 million copies sold worldwide. Marie Kondo, or commonly known as Kon Mary, she is a consultant and her business is famous enough in Tokyo in helping clients to turn their messy homes into spaces filled with serenity and inspiration. Kon Mary's method of decluttering and organizing things has become an international phenomenon. She has appeared on more than 30 major Japanese television and radio programs. As well as in Japanese, she was featured on the London Times, specifically in Sunday Times, Red Magazine, You Magazine, and so on. Overall, I like this book because the simple word that understandable and it well organized. This book does not only explain the methods, the ways, and the tips for cleaning up, but also the author brings the reader to have our own motivation in cleaning up by explaining his philosophy, parables, and satire that makes the reader evaluate and change the mindset and habits within themselves. I like when Kon Mary said that tidying is just a tool, not the final destination. The true goal should be to establish the lifestyle you want once your house has been put in order. This book is published by Pad Press in 2014 and has 224 pages. And this book is divided into 5 chapters. And right, let's see the first chapter. Well, the title of the first chapter is Why Can't I Keep My House in Order? There are at least 9 subchapters in this first chapter. Right, the first chapter is You Can't Tidy If You Never Learned How. This part tells us about doing something by knowing how it works, because it would be useless if someone did cleaning up, for example, for about 20 years but didn't learn the right way. Then there would be no better progress for it. The second subchapter is a tidying marathon doesn't cause reburn. This part tells us about tidying things up too often will not make it always neat, but will tire yourself because the place will be messy again. And the third subchapter is tidy a little day and you'll be tidying forever. Actually, this part tells us about tidy up in one shot rather than little by little. We can dramatically change our mindsets because people cannot change their habits without first changing their way of thinking. So these subchapters let us understand to do something because there's a motivation from our own self. The next subchapter is why you should aim for perfection. This part actually tells us about to don't aim for perfection but start off slowly and discard just one item in a day. This is a tip that we will never get our house in order if we only reach perfection and clean up half-heartedly. And next, the fifth subchapter is the moment you start, you reset your life. Actually, this part tells us about from the moment we start tidying up, we will be compelled to reset our life. Our life will start to change. That's why the task of putting our house in order should be done quickly because it allows us to confront the issues that are really important. Alright, the sixth subchapter is storage experts are hoarders. This part tells us about putting things away creates the illusion that the clutter problem has been solved. This is why tidying up must start with discarding. we need to exercise self-control and resist storing our belongings until we have finished identifying what we really want and need. The seventh subchapter is sorted by category, not by location. This part tells us about tidying up by location is a fatal mistake because we often store the same type of item in more than one place, and when we tidy each place separately, we fail to see that we're repeating the same work in many locations and become locked into a vicious circle of tidying. Marie recommends tidying up by category. For example, instead of tidy a particular room, for example, no bedroom first, next to the living room. No. Set goals like tidying all clothes today and all books tomorrow. Alright guys, that's all for the first chapter, and wow, it was full of inspiration, I guess. Now let's take a look to the second chapter. It is about finish discarding first. This chapter is more like a first step to practice tidying up with Marie's method, and it contains about 10 subchapters that mostly tell the reader the right way in tidying up, the discarding things one by one but at once. The author also led us to select the thing from the criterion: does it spark joy, or it more like when you touch those things, you will feel some energy from it, or it's so memorable for you. In each subchapter, there is a story of author's experience that could become our mirror to correct and evaluate ourselves. And also, there are several things that contain Japanese culture, but I think it does not differ with Indonesian culture at all, because actually we are still in one Asian nation. Alright, let's move to the third chapter. It is about tidying by category, words like magic. Well, this chapter is the real method of decluttering and organizing things from A to Z by Marie method, which divided into at least 21 subchapters. She taught us from tidying in order, clothing, loungewear, clothing storage, how to fold. Next, the fourth chapter. The title is Storing Your Things to Make Your Life Shine. This chapter is about the tips after we tidying up our things and discard them. So where will we storage it? And yes, this chapter is the answer for storage many things and the tips and tricks. This first chapter divided into 16 subchapters, and overall it's about storing, designing, decorating, and keeping things right in their places. Alright, last but not least is the fifth chapter. The title of the fifth chapter is The Magic of Tidying Dramatically Transforms Your Life. Alright, we can see from the title of the chapter, it is more like the benefits or advantages from tidying up to our life. Maybe it sounds like a joke or a little bit hilarious, but actually it works and magically changing your life, because the method of tidying up by Marie is not like teach the method and finish by. No, she slowly teaches the reader to understand why we should tidying up, why after we tidying up it would be mess again, and why we cannot organize things neatly. She makes us understand first with knowing the story of her experience that's relatable, for example, the philosophy and so. Alright guys, finally we have in the end of the book, and yep, I'm so excited for sharing how amazing this book, because it's not like a boring book. Some stories from the author inside were so funny and will take your attention at the beginning of the book. Well, I hope you enjoy this review and can understand my explanation. If you think this book is useful and you have some interest to this book, you can search the book on the internet, or you can buy it in some bookstores or online shopping platform. And yeah, You also can read the Indonesian version of this book if you prefer with Indonesian language. Okay, that's become the closing of this video. Thank you very much for watching the video until end. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.